Good morning, my dears. Hope you're all perfectly fine. Beware of our situation now regarding coronavirus spread throughout the whole world. So, stick to the rules and stay safe at home. I'm the English teacher of grade 2, Miss Nuran Anwar, and now we're gonna start our selection section in our revision sheet. So, let's start. The first selection: animals building homes. Number 1. After piling the lodge, a beaver fills cracks with mud or gnaws on a tree trunk. Exactly. It fills the cracks with mud to make it covered wholly, right? Yes, exactly. So number 1 fills cracks with mud. Now let's see number 2. In a beaver's home, the word pond is in dark type to show that it what? Tells something important or is a word that should be read in a loud voice. Exactly. Is a word that should be read in a loud voice. Thanks a lot. Now number 3. Which section helps the reader learn how homes protect animals? Safe at home or working together? Yeah, thank you. It's really obvious. Safe at home. Now, which animal makes a home called nest? A beaver or a mouse? Exactly, mouse. So, mouse and birds has the same name of their home, which is a nest. Good guys. Now let's get to number 5. Which section tells the reader about a bird's home? Building nests or making burrow? Exactly, bird. Then you search for the word nests. Good guys. So building nests. Okay, now let's get to number 6. The section called Careful Builders tells about birds that carefully weave and tie knots or animals that are careful about where they build homes. Exactly, birds that carefully weave and tie knots. That's how they make their own home, their own nest. Good guy. Now let's get to number 7. Which section tells about groups of animals that help each other build a home? Building nests or working together? Yes, exactly. We saw a word guide in our question, which was groups. Yes, so of course working together. Good guys. Okay, now let's see number 8. What is a burrow? What is a burrow? A tree made by woodpeckers or a hole in the ground where an animal lives? Exactly, good guys. A hole in the ground where an animal lives. Thank you. Now let's get to number 9. Before moving their chicks into a hole made by woodpecker, chickadees put grass and moss in the hole or tie knots with their feet and beak. Exactly! Put grass and moss in the hole to make it warm for the small bird, right? Okay, now let's get to number 10. Which section tells about helping each other? Working together or making a burrow? Perfect! Working together, of course. Number 11. Woodpeckers make a hole. Then the chickadee does what? Puts grass and moss to make bigger or make a hole bigger. Exactly! They make the hole bigger. Good guys. Now, number 12. What does break mean? Crack or grow? Crack, exactly. Good guys. Now let's get to number 12. What does winding mean? Winding, twisting and turning, or smooth and slippery? Twisting and turning, exactly. Do you remember when I gave you the glue as an example? When you wind the glue back and wind it up to glue something, then wind it back and recap it, right? Okay, now let's get to number 2. The second part in our section today is the ugly vegetables. Do you remember this story? Okay, so what's the kind or genre of this story? Fable or poem or realistic fiction? Realistic fiction. Good guys. Why? Because its events can happen in real life. Good guys. So, number 2. Linda and Mickey used watering cans to water their garden because their garden was magical or weird or small. Small, exactly. So, the neighbor's garden was small. That's why they used the watering cans. Number 3. I and Mom used what? Shovels, and Mrs. Crummery used small shovels. Big or heavy or scary? Big, exactly. I and Mom used big shovels. Why, guys? Because their garden was very big. Okay, now let's get to number 4. I and Mom were using a hose to water our garden as our garden is dying or weird or big. Exactly, it's big. Okay, now let's get to number 5. Mom stick papers that has weird drawing everywhere to show what's planted next to the papers places, or to decorate the garden, or to spread danger signs. Exactly, to show what's planted next to the papers places. Good guys. Okay, do you remember these kind of weird drawings? What were they? Yeah, they were Chinese names of the vegetables. Good guys, thank you. Now let's see number 6. The drawing on the papers were actually the Chinese names of the vegetables or the vegetables' origin or their parents. Good guys, the Chinese names of the vegetables. Now let's get to number 7. At first, our garden had its plants looking like grass or bass or reed. Grass. Good guys, bravo. Okay, now number 8. Were the girl convinced by her mom saying about their garden being better than the neighbors? Kind of, or a little, or wasn't at all. Exactly, wasn't at all. Bravo. Good guys, keep going. Number 9. The girl got convinced that her garden that had weird, ugly Chinese vegetables is better than the neighbor's garden when she had her time to think, or when mom tried talking with her, or when her mom cooked these vegetables and its yummy smell filled the air. Exactly! When her mom cooked these vegetables and its yummy smell filled the air. Good guys! Now number 10, the important lesson that we should focus on in this story is sometimes things can look bad, but actually they are better than what you think. Or what's bad is always bad. Or only believe what you see. Good guys. Sometimes things can look bad, but actually they are better than what you think. Number A. Thank you. Good guys. Now let's get to number 3 in our section today. The third selection called Superstorms. Anybody remember this selection? It was interesting. Okay, now let's get going. What's the kind or genre of this story? Fable or informational text or realistic fiction? Exactly. It was informational text as it gave us many information. Okay. So, number 12. The air around us is always changing or stable or unchangeable. Changing, good guys. So the air around us is always changing. Number 13. Heavy rain, showers or lightning or thunderstorms or thunder. Thank you, perfect, good guys. Thunderstorms. That's like what we had earlier, a few days ago. Okay, thank you. Number 14. The sound that's made as the lightning hits the air, called blender, thunder, lightning. Of course, it can be a blender that makes the juice and so, and of course, it can be lightning, as lightning is a light that you can see, not a sound, right? So the only sound that could be heard as the lightning hits the air is exactly thunder. Thank you. Okay, number 15. To know how far is the lightning, we count the seconds between the flash of light and the sound of bravo! Thunder, of course. Good guys. Number 16. The 5 seconds between the sight of the light flash and the sound of the thunder equals 1 mile. Perfect. Exactly. So 5 seconds between the sight of the light flash and the sound of the thunder equal 1 mile. Thank you. Number 17. Chunks of ice that are tossed up and down by the wind of some thunderstorms are called hailstones or hail cones or hailstones. Thank you. Hailstones. Good guys. Number 18. The deadliest storms in the world are hurricanes or the eye or the sky. Hurricanes. Perfect. Okay. Number 19. The quiet center of the hurricane is called the bay or the eye or the sky. Perfect. The eye. Thank you. Okay. Now let's keep going. We are about to finish. Number 20. Huge snowstorms are called bazaar or buzzer or blizzards. Thank you. Blizzards. Good guys. Bravo. Now let's get going to our last part in our selection section. How Chipmunk got his stripes. It was an interesting story, wasn't it? Okay, now let's get going. What's the kind or genre of this story? Fable or folk tale or realistic fiction? Yes, exactly! It's folk tale. Why? Because it used to be told by many generations. Good guys. So it is called folk tale. Thank you. So the kind of how Chipmunk got his stripes, folk tale. Okay. Number 22. The one who thought that he can make the sun not rise. the next day was the turtle or deer or bear? Yes, bear. He was so full of himself. Okay, now let's continue. 23. The one who asked the bear not to make the sun rise the next day was brown squirrel or brown deer or brown owl? Yes, brown squirrel. Good guys. Number 24. Were the bear and the squirrel the only ones who were observing the sky for the whole night? Yes, or no, or there was no another. Exactly. No, there were the whole animals around them. Okay, they didn't wait alone for the next morning. Number 25. At the end, the sun didn't come up the next day, or came up the next day, or disappeared. Exactly. It came up the next day, of course, because he can't control the sun. He's just an animal. Who can control the sun? Exactly. Only God. Thank you. Number 26. The one that all animals have agreed with was the squirrel or the bear or the deer. The squirrel, of course. Thank you. Because the squirrel's opinion was nobody can control the sun, right? So he played a trick on the bear and played with his ego, and it's actually worked. Okay, now let's continue. 27. All animals were happy when the sun came up except one, which was the bear or the owl or the moose. Exactly, the bear, because he was wrong at the end. Okay, now let's see what happened. 28. The squirrel's grandmother saying was, "Tease who are found to be wrong as much as you can." Or, "Don't tease who were found to be wrong even if you were found to be right." Or, "Teasing is always good." So, which one, guys? Exactly! Don't tease who were found to be wrong even if you were found to be right. Good, guys. Number 29. The bear got angry because of the squirrels playing around or teasing or wheezing. Teasing, exactly. He kept teasing him. They got him very angry and jumped over him. Okay, now let's see number 30. The trick that the squirrel used as a try to run away was to ask the bear to lift up his paw that caught him so he can what? Breathe and apologize, or breathe and play with him, or breathe. Exactly, breathe and apologize. He convinced the bear that he would say sorry before he died. And do you remember what happened later? Did he actually say sorry? Yes, of course not. He ran away. Okay, now let's see. Number 31. The important lesson that we should learn that no one, even the bear, can do everything. Or everybody can do everything. Or nobody can do anything. Exactly. No one, even the bear, can do everything. So as we said before, everyone has his own things that he can do, right? Okay. Now we have reached till the end of our session. See you next session, guys. Thank you for listening and thank you for your cooperation in my session today. Later. Keep yourself safe.